son, I'm loving for him, I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality.
Well, the summer beach weather may be long gone, but still a tremendous afternoon for football here in Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 29-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Now Brissett. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
Go now. 8, read.
Coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. Check 43. 36.
Greystone, travel.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Check, walk 54, walk 54.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Going to give this time to the tailback. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Badgley able to knock this one through, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side. Because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Mike 96, Mike 96. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
Here's 2nd and 8. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, 96 is coming. We got Mike 96.
He'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off right around the 43. And into the end zone. A pick 6 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
Man left, man left. You got 3 down.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
70, Indy.
51 the mic, boy, 51. Blue down.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treat it as such.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Here comes Pettis on the return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brissett. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett is going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11. The Niners on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is Brissett. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This is Breida. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey.
I got you. Right there. 54. Right there. 54. Mike.
Get it.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
6 man. Check cross. Alert flare.
Into the hands of Pettis. It's a jet sweep. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down, San Francisco.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Here we go. Touch the outlaw. 59. Let's get it. Sponge.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Badgley able to punch this one through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Just like that.
Go, go.
Hey, check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. Come on.
Ready.
Now back to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
33.
Protein spill.
Check 6 guys.
Bravo. Deep grip.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Hey, Haywood.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run, and just lost track, and it cost him.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
30 base.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Gurley. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, Alpha.
It's our time. Mike 96. Mike 96. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know. Hey, 96 is coming. Go, Mike.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking long for Westbrook. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all.
Ready.
Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Mike 51. Mike.
Go.
They'll set up a throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Here we go. 10 Lobo.
All day.
Get it.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and throw for it here. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Ready.
On the toss, it's Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Ready. 10-2 stop. Hey, Charlie.
Mike 96.
2nd and long. They shakes him off. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. Watch the run. Watch the run. Mike's like, go.
He'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by DJ Reed. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A handoff as they run the counter play. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Drop just inside the 20. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game, and with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Give them 6 yards in the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, here's Breida. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Brissett. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes.
Brandon Cooks! Touchdown, LA! Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams do gain a bit of respectability. Extra point good by Hopkins as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Brissett sets to throw it. Being chased out left. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Mike 96, Mike 96.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking long for Westbrook. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Hey, Delta.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
33. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Looking to throw. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, LA. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27.
Justin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Niners on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
It's going to be a long day. Switch.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Brissett. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Brissett. He wants it all for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 47. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma go out 1 foot a set, boy, till there's nothing left. I'ma run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check.